What if everything you were taught about being nice and fair was actually holding you back? In 1998, Robert Greene wrote a book so controversial that some prisons have banned it, some CEOs keep it hidden in their desk drawers, and yet millions of people credit it with completely changing how they navigate power, influence, and manipulation in the real world. It's called the 48 Laws of Power, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why the most successful and the most dangerous people in history all seem to follow the same unwritten rules. Chapter 1. The Origins of a Controversial Classic. Robert Greene published the 48 Laws of Power in 1998, and it immediately became one of the most polarizing books ever written. Some call it a manual for ruthless manipulation. Others call it the most honest book ever written about how power actually works in the real world, not how we wish it worked. Greene drew his laws from thousands of years of history, studying the strategies of kings, generals, con artists, and political masterminds like Machiavelli, Sun Tzu, and the courts of Louis XIV. His conclusion was blunt: power is not something you're given, it's something you take, and if you don't understand its rules, you will always be at the mercy of those who do. Chapter 2. Law 1. Never outshine the master. The first law sets the tone for the entire book. Greene argues that if you work under someone more powerful than you, never make them feel insecure, inferior, or threatened by your talent. He tells the story of Nicolas Fouquet, a finance minister under King Louis XIV, who threw an extravagant party to impress the king, and instead of admiration, it triggered jealousy. Fouquet was arrested shortly after and spent the rest of his life in prison. The lesson: make those above you feel superior and save your brilliance for moments that build them up, not moments that expose their weaknesses. Chapter 3. Conceal your intentions. Greene's third law teaches that people plan their defenses based on what you think you want. If your true goals stay hidden, no one can prepare against you. He uses the example of Otto von Bismarck, who publicly appeared cautious and reluctant about war, while secretly maneuvering 3 European powers into conflicts that ultimately unified Germany under his control. The core idea here isn't dishonesty for its own sake, it's about controlling the information others use to predict and counter your moves. Chapter 4. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. This law flips conventional wisdom. Greene argues that in a world flooded with mediocrity, obscurity is dangerous. You must stand out, even if it means controversy. He points to P.T. Barnum, the legendary showman, who understood that scandal and spectacle generated more long-term value than quiet competence ever could. The takeaway for anyone building an audience or a brand: being talked about, even critically, beats being ignored entirely. Chapter 5. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. One of the most debated laws in the book, this principle warns against half measures. Greene argues that if you defeat a rival but leave them with any resources or resentment, they will eventually regroup and come back stronger, driven by revenge. He references historical military campaigns where victors who showed mercy often faced renewed rebellion years later, while those who neutralized threats completely secured lasting peace. This law isn't necessarily about literal enemies in modern life. It's often interpreted as finishing what you start, whether that's a negotiation, a competitive project, or a business decision, rather than leaving loose ends. Chapter 6. Enter action with boldness. Greene observed that hesitation and timidity create more problems than mistakes made through decisive action. People forgive boldness even when it fails, but they exploit and prey on visible fear and uncertainty. He tells the story of Hernán Cortés, who upon landing in Mexico burned his own ships, eliminating any possibility of retreat and forcing his men to total commitment. Whether or not you agree with Cortés's actions historically, the underlying psychological principle holds. Bold, committed action projects confidence, and confidence itself becomes a form of power. Chapter 7. Discover each man's thumbscrew. This law focuses on understanding people's individual weaknesses, insecurities, or hidden desires, their thumbscrew, because everyone has one. Green argues that once you understand what truly drives or worries someone, whether it's ego, fear, greed, or the need for approval, you gain enormous leverage in any relationship or negotiation. This isn't about exploitation in a purely negative sense, it's also about understanding what genuinely motivates people so you can work with them more effectively rather than guessing blindly. Chapter 8. Law 48. Assume formlessness. The final law closes the book with perhaps its most philosophical idea. Green argues that rigid structures and predictable patterns are vulnerabilities. The moment your strategy becomes fixed, it becomes easy to attack. He compares this to water, which has no fixed shape and therefore cannot be broken, only redirected. The most powerful people and organizations, Green argues, are the ones that continuously adapt, staying fluid rather than clinging to one identity, one method, or one plan. Chapter 9. The criticism and the counter-argument. It's worth acknowledging that this book has drawn serious criticism over the years. Many readers argue that its philosophy promotes manipulation, distrust, and a zero-sum view of human relationships that can damage genuine connections if applied too literally. Green himself has responded to this criticism by framing the book less as a moral guide and more as a description of patterns that already exist in politics, business, and history, arguing that understanding these dynamics is a form of protection even if you choose never to use them offensively. Chapter 10. Why this book still matters. Nearly 30 years after its release, the 48 Laws of Power remains a fixture in business schools, political strategy circles, and self-improvement communities. Whether you view it as a playbook or a warning label, its core value lies in exposing the unspoken rules that many successful and many ruthless people already follow instinctively. Understanding these laws doesn't require using all of them. For most readers, the real power lies simply in recognizing these patterns when they're being used against you. Please hit the like button, share with your friends and family members, and don't forget to subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.